Welcome to today's episode. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the $2,000 stimulus proposal that recently has just surfaced the web, as well as how to triple your $1,200 that you just received through the CARES Act. Now, disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. These are just my picks. These are my suggestions that I have for myself and what I'm currently doing. You are not advised to follow me at all under any circumstance. Once again, these are just my picks. Untraditionally, like any other YouTuber that is talking about this very, very sensitive subject, these are just my opinions and what I see that everyone else has access to via the public, via the news, via YouTube, via anything else. I'm going to share you guys the facts, what I believe in, what I see, and hopefully I can help educate some of you so that you're able to make the right decision and able to not only secure, hopefully, this $2,000 stimulus check, but as well as be able to triple your money. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, tune in for the remainder of this video so that you're able to be well educated on everything that's going on so you can best prepare yourself for the future. Now to start, we're going to talk a little bit about the CARES Act. For some of you guys who don't truly understand what the stimulus package is, the $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus bill was made through what we call the CARES Act. And now, typically, for those of you who haven't received a check yet, don't worry. It was given out in segments. So for people who had direct need first, so those in the lower income class, and then it's given upstream. Here are some of the qualifications. If you're an individual tax filer with adjusted gross income of $75,000, so you're a single person with an income of $75,000, you qualify for the $1,200 coronavirus stimulus package. If you're married with a joint income of up to $150,000, you qualified for the $1,200 stimulus check. For those of you who had income between $75,000 to $99,999, you did too receive a form of a stimulus. If you haven't yet received your stimulus package, please don't worry. There's two different options. There's two different avenues you can go to be able to see exactly what's going on with your stimulus check and get a direct update to what's going on. First, you want to call the IRS disaster hotline. The best time to call them is typically early in the day or late at night. The number for that is listed right here, as well as the IRS directly. You can call the IRS number, which is right here as well. And if you give those guys a call, they'll be able to give you a status update on your check or your direct deposit. Now, if you filed your 2018 taxes and you received a check, you will also receive a check in the mail. If you did your 2018 taxes and you got a direct deposit through your bank account, your stimulus package will be direct deposited into your account via Zelle, Cash App, and I believe that also the IRS is using Venmo. So you have those three avenues which you'll get your money. Once again, if you haven't received your check yet, don't worry. The government is going up to, people aren't receiving checks up until September. So it doesn't mean that you're not getting it. It just means that you currently aren't in the phase where checks are coming out right now. So don't freak out, don't worry. Last option, if you aren't able to get a hold of the IRS, you can Google search and look up a tax advocate in your state. So for me, for example, in Florida, so I could look up the tax advocate for Florida, and you can reach out to that person. They can give you more information on your stimulus package and more information on when you should be receiving it. Talking about the $2,000 stimulus proposal that came up, I'm pleased to give you guys a little bit more information on some of the qualifications, which I think are a lot more reasonable, and they're much more wide range so that more people will be able to get it. The only problem is the stimulus package isn't backed off printed money, it's backed off debt. The US currently right now has $24 trillion in debt, which if you put into account how much this stimulus package would cost the US about $7 trillion if you look at the qualifications. So let's talk about some of them. So for single people, instead of it being realistically $99,999 in order to receive some form of stimulus, Now the range goes up to $130,000, which is pretty incredible. So for those of you who were a little bit above the range and weren't able to get the stimulus package in this proposal, you would actually qualify. For married individuals that joint file and make up to $260,000, you too now qualify for the $2,000 stimulus package, which is incredible. It's more wide range, but like I said, once again, it's more expensive. Now, do I physically believe that this proposal will pass through? I will have to give you guys my honest judgment. I don't believe so. I think it's going to cost the U.S. a little bit too much money, and it's just not justifiable from their standpoint, not for the common person like ourselves, who we truly believe, there's a lot of American people who truly need this and need to have it and need that government support. I'm going to go over some of the commonly asked questions that people will typically ask and want to know regarding the stimulus package. 1, will I be taxed on my stimulus? The answer is no. Your stimulus is not taxed at all. The $1,200 stimulus that you receive from the CARES Act is processed as a tax credit for your 2020, 2021 taxes. So you will not be taxed on it. You will receive the full amount, whether it's $1,200 or $600. You will receive your money in the full amount. The second question is, will I receive my stimulus check if I'm not a U.S. citizen? The answer is yes. If you have a social security number or you have an individual tax identification number, you are considered a taxpayer, and yes, you will receive your stimulus check. For those of you who are college students and dependents on your parents' taxes, you too also qualify under this new proposal, being that if it was to go through, you would also receive a stimulus. I am for the college kids who, rely on working in order to have income. And I think the first stimulus was completely unfair. For those of you like myself, like other college students and peers, we should have been able to receive that money. So under this new proposal, you would actually be able to receive, I believe it's $500 for yourself on this stimulus. For those of you who've been tuning in, thank you for continuing to watch. Please continue to watch the rest of this video. I'm going to go into a very important segment, which is potentially how to triple your stimulus check, which is honestly very important for those of you right now who don't have a direct need to go buy groceries for a family. I'm speaking directly for people who are single, who live with their parents or have a roommate situation, or have a little bit more, who are also working and receiving a little bit more cash, who aren't completely unemployed. This is a great opportunity for you to, invest in a business, invest in a hobby, invest in something that you may think is fun. But I'm going to go through to a little bit of financial stuff that I'm personally doing that you guys could do that can help you further along to potentially triple your money. Once again, disclosure, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you my picks and what I believe in. You don't have to follow it at all, but I'm just here to try to help everybody and get everybody on the right path. So to start, the platforms I would use, Robinhood, that's what I use currently. That's what I'm going to showcase you guys today. So I would make an account on Robinhood. In the comments below, I'm going to put my Robinhood link. So for anyone who doesn't have a Robinhood, you can click that link, and you can also get a free share when you create an account. So I'm going to download Robinhood. In the 3 industries that, regardless of what happens, the world could be blowing up, that is always going to be there, is 1, defense. So defense is some stocks like Raytheon, Booz Allen. Those are defense agencies. Healthcare. So healthcare, if there's no hospitals, COVID would be out of control right now. So, healthcare isn't going anywhere. The government is going to make sure that healthcare has money. Some healthcare stocks are like Johnson & Johnson, HCA. There's many others, but those are the 2 that come top of mind. And then the third one is banks. Everyone needs money. During times like this, people need loans, not only mortgage loans, people need auto loans, people need personal loans, people need cash, people need to access their cash. And the one thing I do know is that the government is not going to let banks fail, especially big banks. So, some of the top banks that everyone could find on Google or any public platform, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, those are just some of the main ones that I could think of off the top of my head. Capital One, I mean, pretty much any big banking institution is good money. They all have great dividends, and it's the best place to put your money right now. So we're gonna go over to my Robinhood, and I'm gonna highlight some of these. So this is my personal Robinhood. We're gonna look at Bank of America. As you can see, Bank of America is really good stock. They have good dividend. For those of you who don't know what a dividend is, it's whatever the price of the stock may be. So in this example, Bank of America is a $23 stock. So what happens is they'll pay out 3% of that stock back to their investors, which are people like you and I. And those are the people who are going to benefit the most. Then we move over to Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson right now is a $149 stock. Currently, they have news about testing a coronavirus vaccine. They do a lot of stuff in healthcare. They also have a 2% dividend. So 2% of $149 is what they'll pay out their investors like you and I every quarter. As well as Raytheon. Raytheon is a defense company. They engage in aerospace and defense systems through the military. It's not going anywhere. They also pay a 3% dividend. So 3% is $64. That goes back to the investors like you and I. This is a good place to start putting your money. If you take the Warren Buffett approach, you invest money, you constantly keep compounding over a period of time, you'll have enough to where your dividends will pile up and it'll pay you forever. That's the reason why Warren Buffett is making about $400 to $500 million in Coca-Cola every quarter, etc., and why his portfolio is absolutely nuts. Something I've learned in life is that if you follow the footsteps, you're probably not going to be in the wrong pattern. So you guys should do that too. I hope I was able to help you guys a little bit, give you a little more information about the $2,000 stimulus, a little bit about the $1,200 stimulus, and some of the things you can do to funnel your money in order to, be able to make a good conscious return. Because once the market turns around, this thing is going to really blow up. Once again, disclaimer, not a financial advisor. I could be completely wrong. These are just what I think and my hypotheses. Please feel free to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and continue to post a lot more videos like these to potentially be able to, educate everyone on what's going on. For those of you like myself who thinks the news is sometimes it's a little bit too much. Thank you for everything. I'm out.